What's going on, my YouTube family? Sergeant Graybeard with another Division 2 video. Today is Tuesday, February 16th, and as always, I hope this message finds you healthy and safe. Today, my friends, we are doing our weekly update where we go over the vendor reset, we give you a few friendly reminders to help your gameplay, we talk about any changes that the game made during the weekly maintenance, and we go over any of the new leagues or global events that may have started. Now, if you happen to be new to the channel, first of all, welcome. Secondly, feel free to hit that subscribe button. We would love for you to be a part of our gaming family. And if you enjoyed this or found it helpful at all, take a quick second and hit that like button. It really helps the channel out. We are going to jump right into it today, my friends. So what you're looking at right now, this is a tweet the Division put out yesterday talking about this morning's weekly maintenance, and unfortunately, the only thing being addressed this week has to do with the volumetric fog issue that people have been having on PlayStation 5. Now, I know, unfortunately, for many players on PC, you've been dealing with crashing issues since Title Update 12.1 came out. Unfortunately, this week they are not implementing that fix, but I know that the game is working on it, they've addressed it, so hopefully we can expect that really soon. Next, my friends, we're going to talk about the new league that started today. It's the Cersei League, and for those players that are new to the game, just so you know, you don't need to activate anything in order to actually get the league going. All you need to do to participate in these leagues are the different missions that you're seeing on the screen right here on those specific difficulties. It's a time trial. You have to go after certain factions or different members of certain factions, and doing so will upgrade your league rank, which will give you more rewards. You can see the rewards that you have the ability to earn down below, and one thing I'd like to mention, again, this is for the newer players, is that this goes on for 2 weeks, and your progression transfers from the first week to the second. So if for some reason you can't finish this week, you will be able to go next week and not lose your progression. Today is also the day that the weekly projects reset, and you have a few different options in order to get some exotic caches really easily. First of all, it's your weekly shade requisition, where all you need to do is donate different items and you'll be able to pick one up, and the other one has to do with the summit. All you need to do for the summit is complete 30 floors, and what I recommend is this. If it's something you don't really enjoy doing, do the first 29 floors on normal difficulty, then bump the last one up to heroic. That should give you a better drop in the exotic cache. And for those of you that have the ability to do so, you can also earn an exotic cache by completing the weekly legendary mission, which is District Union Arena. Finally, my friends, before we move on to the vendor reset for this week, I want to show you, in my opinion, what is the best location to find the snitch. And as most of you know by now, finding the snitch is how you gain access to the gunrunner Cassie Mendoza, who becomes available tomorrow. All you will do, my friends, is go to this location on the map in the Federal Triangle. Dude, what's with his legs? His legs are gone. Anyway, whatever. You're going to go here, you're going to chat with him, and then when you open up your map, you'll see that Cassie Mendoza will be available tomorrow. This is something I strongly recommend every player do. I know sometimes she doesn't have the best items, but last week she had an insane pair of gloves. So once again, take the time, find the location of the snitch, and that way you can have access to her when she becomes available. Now moving on to this week's vendor reset, my friends, you know how I do this. I'm just going to point out some highlights and typically talk over everything else. My recommendation is really take your time with each vendor and look for anything that can improve your inventory whatsoever. As always, my friends, we're starting off in the White House. Now, they happen to have the D50 pistol, and for those of you that have not crafted the Liberty handgun, which is an exotic, you need the D50 in order to do that, so definitely pick this up. Now, going back to something I was saying a moment ago for the new players is make sure you take your time looking through the vendors, because in any way you can improve your recalibration library with the talents or the attributes, you definitely want to do that. Now let's make our way to the clan vendor and see what we have here as we open up the vendor. Designated hitter, really nice marksman rifle. Definitely recommend picking this up. Really good roll. You'll just change that last attribute. And now because you can actually optimize your weapons, you can totally max that thing out. Next, we have some Hunter's Fury knee pads. Here we have a Negotiator's Dilemma backpack, another backpack. What do we have here with this rifle? Really nice rifle. I love that talent ignited. This is a pretty good roll because you'll obviously change that last attribute as well. Definitely want to grab that one. And with the shotgun, here's a perfect example of looking for an attribute that can improve your library. I'm like 1,500 hours into this game. I still could improve headshot damage when it comes to shotguns, so I definitely picked that up. Finishing off here, we had some body armor, an AR, holster, body armor again. Nothing really too great to speak of. So now, my friends, let's make our way over to the next location, which is the theater. Right out of the gate, my friends, you can see here we have the named gloves firm handshake. You definitely want to grab at least one of these. I'd actually recommend grabbing 3 because that way you can re-roll it any way you want. And for the new players out there, what that does is it gives you the ability to max out that core attribute in either skill, defensive, or offensive. So that way, regardless of the type of build you're doing, you have a piece of equipment that really suits it properly. Nothing else to really speak of here, my friends, so now let's make our way over to the campus. Typically here they start with a named marksman rifle. Let's see if that's the case again. It is. It's the scalpel, and for me, once again, I can improve my attribute damage to armor, so I'm definitely picking this up. Moving on, we have another marksman rifle. Pretty decent roll there. We have an LMG, not that great. Same thing with the mask. Nice holster here. I would definitely pick that up. You can just re-roll one of those attributes, have a pretty decent piece of gear. Next, we're finishing up with mods and skill attachments. Now let's make our way to the first Dark Zone. And as we roll up to DZ West, most of you know I don't typically go into the Dark Zone that often because it is a bit of a process in order to get the actual credits you need in order to buy something. So for me, it's got to take a really good item for me to go through the process of actually getting these things. I do, however, recommend checking these vendors every week because sometimes you're going to find either named items that are exclusive to the Dark Zone or other pieces of gear that you've been looking for and you haven't been able to get them to drop, so you always want to check these out to see if they're for sale. We are now in Dark Zone South. There wasn't really anything to speak of in Dark Zone West, that's why I didn't interrupt. Well, I guess interrupt myself. But anyway, we've got a piece of body armor here, not that great, just because of the roll. The Talent Perfect Spark is great, but again, the attributes aren't that good. Next, we have a Vector, we have an AR, then a handgun. Next, we have an ongoing directive backpack. Really nice roll here. And the thing is, I want to make sure I mention, for those of you that love running in the Dark Zone, this is great. It's perfect. You really want to play the type of game that you enjoy. For me, when I see items like that, I would much rather farm for them in the open world. Finishing off with a piece of body armor, a backpack, mods, and skill attachments, nothing to really mention. Now we are making our way to the final Dark Zone East. Starting off with a named marksman rifle, that one's pretty decent if you want to pick it up, totally up to you. We have another marksman rifle, LMG, mask, not that great right there. Same thing with the holster, same thing with the next mask. What do we have next? Another holster. Yeah, not really the best stuff here, so let's finish it up and make our way to New York. And as we hit up these vendors in New York and I start to wrap this thing up, again, I cannot stress enough to the new players, please take your time, look through all of these things because a lot of the time you will find some decent stuff here. A perfect example I can give you is the fact that I'm now playing on PC. Now I'm at level 40, I think my shade level is at like 12, but for the last 2.5 months I haven't been able to log into my PC for some reason with the account. I don't know what happened, but whatever. The point is it's fixed now and a lot of these items are much better than the ones I have in my inventory. And one of the things, like I mentioned earlier, is anything that can improve my recalibration library, I'm going to buy 1 or 2 or 3 so I can take those attributes and talents, put them in my library, and really just try to maximize every piece of gear I have. Having said that, my friends, I want to wrap this video up and again take a quick moment and thank you for the continued support. You guys are amazing. I think we're going to crack 9,500 subscribers today. It's absolutely incredible and I cannot thank you enough. Like I said at the beginning of this thing, if you happen to be new here, hit that subscribe button. We would love for you to be a part of what we're doing. If you enjoyed this, you can hit that like button as well. But most importantly, take care of yourselves, be kind to each other, and we'll talk to you soon. Thanks again, everyone.